Wednesday here on the Now Morning Show, and we are telling you about events that you need to add to your calendar. One of which is happening in the Southland, as the Romaine Diabetic Support Group is getting ready to host their first walkathon since the pandemic, and also give us a little bit of an aerobic burnout on the 25th of November. To tell me more about this event, we are joined by the presiding officer, Mr. Nezam Hassanali, and Mr. Lyndon Gumbs, the chairman of the Romaine Diabetic Support Group. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you very much for coming, and more than that, for hosting an event in such a timely month. We are observing diabetics all through the month, or diabetes rather, all through the country. And so this is very fitting. Thank you very much for the endeavor.
You're welcome.
Now let's start a little bit further back, because the fact that a Romaine specific diabetic support group exists speaks to a certain need. Yes. Mr. Gumbs, can you tell me a little bit as to why we decided to have this NGO all together?
So thank you very much for the question, and good morning to everyone. The Romaine Diabetic Support Group was birthed out of an integrated diabetes program that takes place at the Romaine Health Center. So at that time in 2015, I would have served as the diabetes educator at Romaine Health Center, and we realized that a lot of the clients coming, accessing care, their blood sugar levels were really elevated. So to assist them, we realized that support for them, because clients would come to the health center, they would get the support from the medical practitioners, the diabetes educators, nurses, but we want to do something different and something specific. So thereby we founded this Romaine Diabetic Support Group.
Beautiful. Now, in terms of the event itself, this is not the first of its kind.
No.
It's just the first coming out of the pandemic. So, Nezam, tell me a little bit as to what it used to be and what this one might look like.
Okay, so we started in 2015, as Lyndon said, with our first Walkathon and Aerobic Burnout. And, well, because of the pandemic, we had to cease for 2 years. So this is our first after the pandemic. We have about 300 people who normally come and take part in the walk. And we used to begin at Paria Suites and end up at the health center. But this year we're changing the route a little bit. We're starting at the turning point in Romaine, and we're proceeding to the health center. The walk is about 15 minutes.
Okay, so every and anybody can do this.
Anybody can come.
All right, even me. No, when we talk about every and anyone, I know that it is open to everybody because support is what the group is all about.
Yes, it is.
But do we have particular age groups or particular groups that we're looking forward to seeing?
No, well, actually this year we sent out invitations to all the religious organizations in Romaine, the Romaine Mosque, the temple, the churches. We also sent out invitations to the schools. So we're expecting to get a bumper crowd this year.
Hey, it's coming back with a bang.
Yes. This is the first after the pandemic.
Of course. Part of the beauty of this event as well is that you have a lot of support, much like the group itself, from corporate Trinidad and Tobago, I imagine, yes? What are some of the entities we will see present at the burnouts and the aerobics part of things, perhaps?
Well, we have people who are promoting their products like healthy eating, healthy lifestyle.
Right.
So they will have their booths with their products advertised as well. And also we have corporate Trinidad who has sponsored many of the events that we are having, including prizes for the burnout.
Beautiful. Is it too late for them to come on board if anybody is looking on, though?
Not too late. Just come in and join. It's free of cost. It's free of charge. No cost whatsoever.
Beautiful. And that leads me to wonder, what is the goal out of this activity? Because yes, you're going to get active, you're going to stay healthy, but ultimately there must be some other derivatives that you all are looking forward to.
Yes. So the goal is to promote health and wellness in the community, to make persons aware. Because as we know, diabetes is a medical condition that can be controlled. Many times people, when diagnosed with diabetes, they think, well, it's the end of the world. Yeah, but we want to promote and we want to show persons that they can manage diabetes, because many times the complications of diabetes is what cause the problems. If diabetes is managed, we would not have complications. And the World Health Organization this year, the theme is access to diabetes care. Know your risk, know your numbers.
Right.
So we want, by having this event, we want persons to come out. We will be having blood glucose testing. We'll be sharing healthy snacks. We'll have diabetes educators and doctors on spot to speak with persons about their health. It's very important, you know, as a community and as a nation, that we understand our numbers. Yeah, because we can't just say your sugar high. We can't say your sugar low. You must know what the number is.
So what are the numbers supposed to be?
So normal blood sugar for diabetics should fall fasted between 80 and 120 milligrams per deciliter. And 2 hours after eating, if that person eats, and this is for a diabetic, it should fall between 80 and 180.
Okay. So if we don't have those sorts of numbers, what ought we?
Then you know that you are beginning to have some problems, and there's a need for you to be engaged by your diabetes educator or your medical practitioner so that the relevant management techniques could be applied. And the management would be, of course, diet and exercise, right? And of course, if you are prescribed medication, you take your medication.
Yes,
and that's what we do in our work.
So all of this information will be reiterated to everyone.
Yes.
But if we wanted to make sure that we got access to it and we couldn't head to Laramie on Saturday, how can we find you guys?
So how could you find us? Okay, you could find us on Facebook or on Instagram, Romaine Diabetic Support Group, or you could call us at 685-4046, and we will respond to you.
I realized you wanted to tell me how can we manage it or something else. Go right ahead. Give us one for me.
Yeah, you know, being an advocate for diabetes management, being a practitioner in the field for some years, it's important that persons understand how to manage diabetes, and the Ministry of Health is promoting this, this wellness, and persons can access this diabetes care and management or just being screened at any local health center throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Nezam, you're nodding emphatically. Is it that you yourself are an educator as well?
No, I am diabetic.
So give us a little bit of perspective from that of an actual diabetic. When we talk about management, a lot of people are going to get into their heads and think, oh, this is another thing I have to do. With the support of groups like this, how easy or how difficult has it been to manage your diabetes?
It has made it a lot easier, because from eating 3 big meals a day, we go down to 6 small meals a day. So you're eating everything as normal. You just lower your portions and you take your medication, as Lyndon said, and you exercise. Those are the 3 main factors with people who have diabetes that you have to keep in mind. You have to take your medication, you have to exercise, and you have to watch what you eat.
Very manageable is what I'm hearing.
Yes, it is.
One of your success stories, Lyndon. I see the pride when you talk about it.
Yes.
And that's important to make sure that we see, because as you rightfully said, with diseases that are manageable, a lot of the times the mismanagement is part of the problem.
Correct.
So when we see people doing it successfully, it lets them know that it is very possible to live very healthy lives with these sorts of chronic illnesses.
I have been diabetic 23 years now.
And you don't look a day over 20. Let's go. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, beyond this particular event, will we be having other initiatives later on in the year or in the upcoming year towards that endeavor?
In the upcoming year, the Romaine Diabetic Support Group, we have monthly education meetings. These are held at the Romaine Health Center on the 4th Saturday of each month, beginning at 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So how the meetings are structured, persons come, they get their blood pressure, their blood sugar, their body mass index, their foot examination. They have access to a diabetes educator that can engage them in counseling if they need that. And thereafter, while having a light refreshment, of course, at 3 o'clock we have a presenter that would come and speak on different topics. So throughout the year, we have education meetings. This is our foundation. This is the core by which the group functions.
Sounds great, and I really do appreciate you guys for taking this initiative. But as we were talking before, these sorts of things require support. So Nezam, Lyndon, anything you want to leave with Trinidad and Tobago, the wider community of diabetics even, that will help to lend support to your group?
Well, of course, we are a non-profitable organization, and any donations that goes towards the group goes to the membership to help improve their lifestyle. That's what it's all about.
Right, Nezam,
Yes,
Lyndon, anything else?
Any other non-profit organization that think that they could, join in with us and help us to spread the word of health and wellness, we welcome them to come on board.
Beautiful. So guys, you can head over on the 25th to the Romaine Diabetic Support Group's first annual walkathon coming out of the pandemic, and make sure you partake in the aerobic burnout, as well as they're going to have great lifestyle tips, health and support for the diabetic community of Trinidad and Tobago as a whole, but more specifically in the Laramie area. I'd like to thank Mr. Nezam Hassanali, the presiding officer, and Mr. Lyndon Gumbs, the chairman of the Laramie Diabetics support support group for joining us this morning, making sure that we're aware of all the great things they're doing in Laramine for the diabetic community and Trinidad and Tobago as a whole. Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We will continue to have conversations about things that you need to add to your calendar, including a Christmas concert coming up. But we will tell you more about that after the break here on the Now Morning Show.